Show.
Woohoo! It's time to start. Good morning, everyone. I need to ask you a question. Did you know that you're being hypnotized every day unknowingly? Oops. I had two screens on at the same time. I was being hypnotized there. You're being hypnotized every day and you don't even know it. And that's the topic of today's show. I'm Rene and
I'm Ralu. Welcome, everyone, and good morning, good evening, wherever you are.
welcome to the Rene and Ralu Show, where we help you by giving you mind hacks for your life. Today, we are broadcasting or simulcasting both on YouTube as well as other channels for our Rene and Ralu self-help site and the American School of Hypnosis site. So it's gonna be fun. So let us know who you are, where you're from, how you're being hypnotized, because by the time you leave today, you will be hypnotized. Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
You know, it's important to know. I guess, we're being hypnotized every day unknowingly. I mean, there's not much you can do about it, and we're going to tell you why. But the reason we want you to know about it, isn't to live in fear, but by understanding about it, there are things you can do once you're aware, and maybe even use it to your advantage. And that's why we want to go over this today. But before we start, actually, there's a bunch of things I want to say before we start. Number one, if you're new to us, please go ahead and subscribe. And I have the reason for you. Oh, where's my little thing?
Today's reason is very important, guys. He's got a very important reason having to do with Maine and all.
Please subscribe to Save Canadian Maple Syrup.
Wait a minute. Really I thought it was about Maine. Okay.
No. You can subscribe in Maine. but if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. It'll also save the whales as well. So let's move on. Okay. I want you to understand pretty much what hypnosis is. A lot of people say, I'm not hypnotized. No, you're not sitting in somebody's chair with them going, sleepy. But the definition of hypnosis, the most basic definition, is being open to suggestion.
That's right.
Open to suggestion. Kind of like if I had a lemon, or even speak about a lemon. I'm holding a lemon and I cut it in half. And imagine that I'm taking that lemon and I'm squeezing it in a glass, squeezing it. And you can see the lemon juice dripping down, going into the glass, and your mouth begins to water just by me talking about the sour lemon. That's the power of suggestion. Without even showing you a lemon, just by talking about it, your mouth watered. So that's kind of the definition. And there's so many different ways of being open to suggestion. You can be open directly, like I just did. You're cold, you're warm, giving you suggestion. It's so hot in here and you're starting to get, it's easy to do that today because it is about 100 degrees out there.
And it's pretty warm 9
already.
a.m.
But those are direct suggestions. In addition to that, there's indirect suggestions. Indirect suggestions, things that you happen to hear, maybe walking through a supermarket and they're advertising something and you're hearing it maybe while music is going on, they're saying something. So music itself gives suggestions totally. I mean, I remember during...
Is that why I go to Sephora to buy one lipstick and I come out with 10?
No, that's just because you have a strong desire. That's brainwashing.
That's brainwashing, yeah. See, there's a difference between hypnotizing somebody and brainwashing. Well, sort of a difference, but
brainwashing is just a lot more severe.
Yeah.
But during the Vietnam War, not that I was around, but I was. But during the Vietnam War, there were all these different songs by a lot of my favorite bands, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and all these other guys that would give messages. And they give messages about either pro or against or whatever, but they were getting people up and alarmed in music. So music's a great way to give suggestions. Covert, there's ways of getting hidden suggestions that we're getting every day. So you can see suggestions are coming from everywhere, and you are being conditioned. So let's start with with one of the basic ones. One of the basic ways you're being hypnotized probably every day is going to the grocery store. So how do you think, Raluca, how do you think you get hypnotized going to a grocery store?
Well, you walk in there and you go to buy something, and all of a sudden the bakery scent hits you in the face, or you walk in there and you see a
Bread.
beautiful, you see a beautiful screen with a commercial about the new kind of cereals they have, and you walked in there to buy an onion. That's all you needed, an onion.
It's amazing how you go in for 10 items on your list and you come out with 4 shopping bags,
Yeah.
How'd that happen? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that when it comes to grocery stores and when it comes to marketing, I mean, they know how to do it. Companies know how to do it. They know how to create very suggestive imagery, because this is why Instagram is so successful, by the way, because mind works best in pictures and images. And you get all these images or all of these. Would you call it analytical hypnosis, right? Because you're walking through the store and you're not necessarily looking for that, but all of a sudden you see that, you catch a glimpse of that. I sometimes see like an advertisement, America runs on Duncan, and I go, what was that, and I go look for it. But I think there's also a lot of subliminal messaging. Yeah, that's why there's a U.S. map on the Dunkin' Donuts cup.
Yeah, see, America
because
runs on Dunkin'.
do they even
There's
have the
another one.
logo
That's a
anymore?
suggestion.
Do they still have it? But yeah, so that's how I think. I think it's a yeah, they don't have it on the cup anymore, but I think that's how you get hypnotized in grocery stores and any other kind of stores, like at the mall or whatever wherever you go shopping. They have this they've got it down to a science, really.
Little sidetrack here. Did I tell
Yeah.
you what happened to the Pepsi Cola distributor, the delivery guy? I noticed we were in Market Basket yesterday, supermarket, and I heard terrible news about the Pepsi distributor. Yeah, he was fired.
Why?
Because he was tested positive for Coke. Okay, I had to set that up. But okay, so anyways, grocery stores.
I should have known.
Yeah, tested positive for Coca-Cola. Okay, so grocery stores, you're being hypnotized to buy more things through different suggestions and signage and smells.
Yeah.
When it comes to smells, even real estate companies, I know years ago, I've been in sales a long time before I did what we're doing now. And I remember one of the things that they used to say for real estate sales is to they had like spray cans of scent, and one was apple pie smell. So either spray the
actually
kitchen,
had spray cans.
A spray, like a little kind of like a mister like you have in perfume, with an apple pie scent, or you can burn candles. They have apple pie candles.
Yeah, I knew about the candles.
And the whole idea is somebody walks into the house and they smell apple pie during the open house. And what does it do? Immediately that smell associates, because pretty much everything you experience associates with something from your past. And for those of you that
they
didn't
should burn
see
coffee candles. I'll buy the house right away.
And in yesterday's Rene Ralu Show, we were talking about basically the association, how 90% of the decisions you make come from your past. So you walk into a house, you smell apple pie, and it brings you right back to mom making apple pie and putting it on the windowsill. It brings you to home. So the kitchen reminds you of your family. Even though you might be single buying a house, you think of the wonderful feelings of family. So that's another great suggestive way of making sales. How about in school? How do they hypnotize you in school, Raluca?
In school, you mean
spot?
You mean for for the kids?
Yeah, for kids, for even adults in school, college, high school kids. What are they doing in school? Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I think there's, okay, so let's just say earlier years in schools, right? The formative years, as they call it. I know that because I was a teacher. But truly, I think people need to remember that kids are in the most hypnotizable state until they reach the age of 12. So, stories is one big one in school for children, because you were trying to teach them morals and values through that. And since they are
Hmm.
mainly in the theta brainwave state for the most part, way up until alpha theta, well, up until they reach 12. So it's very easy to they're very easily to impress on their subconscious mind.
And we'll pause right over there for everyone to know. Teaching or giving suggestion in stories, as in metaphors or just different direct suggestion, is a strong way of hypnotizing someone. It's actually called Eriksonian hypnosis. Okay, kind of like the boy who cried wolf. If you've ever heard that story, it teaches kids not to lie. They're
Mhm.
associating not to do something or to do something by listening to someone else. So there's no uh, rebellion. Matter of fact, that's
Mhm.
done in church a lot through
Yeah.
parables.
Yeah.
Okay, so continue.
It,
So that's a good way.
yeah. So did you just say that was Ericksonian hypnosis,
Yes.
basically what they do? Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. It's very easy to per se hypnotize the kid. That's what we're trying to do as a therapist in the office, to bring you to that same level, alpha theta brain state.
Hmm.
Which is the most hypnotizable state. And so, yeah, the children are the easiest to hypnotize. So I think that's one very strong way of doing it during schools. And when as an adult in school, I'm not sure where you're going with that.
Well, another thing, what do they do in school? They have you repeat things.
Well, yeah.
Repetition is
Mm-hmm.
one of the strongest ways of being hypnotized.
Mm-hmm.
Repetition is one of the strongest ways of being hypnotized.
Yeah.
Repetition is one of okay. I mean, when you're a child, like Raluca
Yeah.
said, it's monkey see, monkey do through
Mm-hmm.
observation. But once you're 12 and over, okay, and then you have to do hypnosis the regular way, okay, be brought to the theta brainwave
Bring you
state
back.
either
Yeah.
through hypnosis or self hypnosis and given suggestions, or through repetition, such as repeating affirmations, repeating this, repeating that, and using your imagination while you're doing that. So, yeah, so there's a lot of different ways in schools through. What else do they use in schools? Now, when I say schools, you're going to see this used a lot of places, at home, on the playground, but peer pressure.
Yeah.
Using
Especially
peer
with social
pressure is
media
very,
today. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, all the cool kids have
Mhm.
this. Just saying that, the suggestion is, I got to get that, or I'm not one of the cool kids. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, just there's so much going on with peer pressure. The way you should look, the way you should act, the people you should be with. Should. And for those of you kids watching, don't worry about the shoulds. Okay, be who you are. There's no shoulds. That's just something that other people put on you because they're trying to sell you something. Okay, so be who you are.
Yeah.
Let's
We have
see.
a. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
There's a. Is it okay if I take a question?
Okay, yeah.
Since we're talking about children and being hypnotized through stories and parables and things like that, how do they hypnotize you through music and movies? Well, yes, think that's the handle. Well, just like what I said, especially for children through movies, they're very, very vivid, very they make use of your imagination and whatever messages they go through, even as an adult. Every movie you make and every song you listen to, you feel a certain way. And that's it. The suggestion went through. If you listen to a song on repeat that you like, pay attention to the words, because those are very suggestive. So be very selective about movies you watch and music you listen to, because music is very powerful. I know that from being in a music community. Like Rainey mentioned before, I studied to become an opera singer. Music is very powerful. After you listen to a song, you can either feel very happy and upbeat, or you can feel extremely sad. Same with the movies. Watch the people walking out at the movies. Some of them would be laughing from a comedy, some of them would be crying from a comedy. And with a movie, it's more difficult to do on a repeated basis unless you really like a movie and you want to watch it over and over. But
Or
with
daily
songs,
cartoons. I've watched the
yeah,
cartoons, my grandkids watching it. It's like, oh my word, what are they being taught?
yeah,
I mean, these cartoons
but
are literally selling kids things. Go
yes,
tell your mommy to buy this. I was
the
like,
doll or whatever. But yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, what I was going to say with the songs are even easier to get a suggestion across because it's on. You like the song. Let's just say you like the song and you listen to it on a repeated basis, and yeah, the power of suggestion is whatever it's in there. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to the lyrics of the songs that you listen to.
Now, music,
Yeah.
I blame music for breaking my arm as a child. Not music, movies. I broke my arm as a child because you've probably seen as children, especially folks that, my age, where your childhood wasn't consumed with playing
Hmm.
games on a phone. We actually had to go out and play. Okay, and
We had a game actually. You remember Tetris? It was like a big thing when I
yeah,
was a kid. But my mom, after about 30 minutes of that, she just pulled them out of our hands. Done. You're done. Go outside and play.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, we didn't have video phones. Okay, I mean, you can't play
Yeah.
much of a game
Yeah.
on a dial-up, So
Yeah.
play the rotary dial. But she used to have us go out and play. And I
Yeah.
remember my brothers and I, when they weren't playing WWF wrestling, jumping on me and body slamming me. I was the smallest of the three of us. We
Yeah.
used to play cowboys and Indians. Why? Because we watched westerns all the time.
Mm.
My
See?
brothers always wanted to be
How
the cowboys, and I was always stuck being the Indian and getting burnt and hit with arrows and thrown with rocks and tied up and put in bureau drawers. But not that
What were
I'm
you do?
bitter.
You always drew the short stick.
But one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies was Tarzan. Okay, I played
Oh.
Tarzan.
So
So
you
one day,
wait a minute. Before you go with the story, just remember, like we hear like some people in the comments saying somebody's a teacher and how children minds are very malleable, Miss B and Leela. Absolutely, absolutely. And Renee's going to tell you a story that is going to absolutely 100% prove on that. Go ahead, Renee. That's why I wanted to make a little
so I
comment
just
there.
watched Tarzan, and my parents told me to go out and play. So I went out and played, and I started climbing our huge cherry tree, jumping from branch to branch. I don't know if I was doing like Tarzan or his pet cheetah, the monkey. Okay, but jumping
Yeah.
from branch to branch, and it was an old cherry tree, and one of the branches broke, and I landed in the wrong way and broke my arm. Went to the hospital, had one of those big casts put on, and my mother keeps on talking about it today. Okay, I'm a little older now, so it's been like 100 years or so. But she says, "What did I do? I came home, and as soon as I got home, I went upstairs on the second story porch and started walking on the banister, balancing myself with my cast." So you see how kids, it was so,
You saw
you
how
know.
easy that was?
And Last of the
Yeah.
Mohegans, I still today love the movie Last of the Mohegans, and I believe it was the Mohegans or the Mohegans. They were in these quarries, rock quarries,
Glorious.
jumping from rock to rock, and these rocks were like, from hill to hill, and they were like 30, 40 feet in the air. Well, we had a granite quarry near the house, and we used to go to granite quarry, and my friend Steve and he used to, be messing around down in the pond playing with pollywogs, and while he was doing that, I'd be jumping from rock to rock coming down these quarries. I don't know why I didn't break my neck doing that. But just from watching the Mohegans, you want it to be like that. So you could see, Raluca mentioned earlier, go to a movie theater, watch people when they come out of the movie theater, coming out of a comedy, they're all laughing and joking and having fun.
Exactly.
Coming out of a scary movie, a horror movie, they're like hanging onto each other's arm. If you walk up behind them and go boo, they'll jump on the other guy's head. Romance movies, they're lovey-dovey. And because
I remember after watching Chucky, man, I couldn't sleep for a week because I thought it was a scary doll under the bed. So never
last
mind
night,
kids, they're getting us really good.
Last night we were watching a British series that was kind of, It was very intense. Whoever wrote this thing did a good job. It was very intense, but I had to take
The
a break.
Stranger is called, yeah.
The Stranger, and I had to take a break 2-3 times. Where Lucas says, "Why are you taking a break?" I says, "This is getting to me." I mean, I was becoming part of the movie almost. I was on the end of my chair, and she looks at me. She's laughing, seeing my face being all stressed out, and but yeah, those things really, really affect you.
He's like really intense. He's like,
Let's see.
all right, moving on.
What other ways are we being hypnotized each day? We actually covered a lot of them in that last one. Let me look at my notes
good.
here.
Yeah, just
Let's see. Fear or the lack of. Okay. In sales. Okay. Sales and advertising has so much. It's all pretty much all hypnotic driven. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
a while back, one of the books I wrote was about hypnotic marketing. Actually, we have a whole course on that, how to use hypnosis in marketing. Okay. Create the fear. One of the best ways to sell something is to create a problem, create fear, then create the solution. Okay. Government's been doing that with us for years and years and years. Okay. Advertising does, the lack of the scarcity. We're going to have a really rough time coming up. We're going to have this famine, and there's going to be no rice and no this, and people go out to the stores and rice. And well, look, just a few years ago, okay, when we were having problems, and they were talking about the toilet paper shortage, and people, the shelves were bare from toilet paper of all things. You don't eat the stuff, I mean, when we were kids going camping, we were taught you could use oak tree leaves, but poor oak trees. I'm surprised my neighbor's tree didn't get stripped of, back then, of leaves, just because people get afraid of lack, and it forces them to do that. Now, how else do salespeople use that? Well, we have a sale. Sale ends Friday, or only 5 left. Call now, or everyone's doing it. That's another one. We want to be on the bandwagon with everyone else. That's one of the major drive forces of people. And everyone's doing it. You got to do it. There's only one left. Call now. Operators are standing by. All that causes. How many of you are stressed just from hearing that? You got to do it now. Hurry up. Click on the link below. And look at the sales we have going on. Oops. I even do that. Oh no. But it's natural sales.
Oh no.
Yeah. Do it now. We have free books. Get them while they last, but they'll be there because we have the free book down there. And just so you all know, we do have a free book on the link below.
Yeah.
Wake up and see who you are. And it teaches you all this self-help type thing. But don't have to rush right now. It's going to be there for at least another 3 minutes. Everyone's doing it. Okay. You see, those are suggestions that we're being hypnotized by each day.
So I think that people need to understand that hypnosis, like Rene said in the beginning, hypnosis is being open to suggestion. Simple as that. If you understand the simple definition, then you've got it.
Okay, now, how do you interact with it when you're being hypnotized, or how do you deal with it? Well, being aware that it's happening is the key. Being awareness, okay? Call now. Operators are standing by. Or what I love is when you go to a website to look at something and they have the countdown timer, sale ends in 10, 9, 8, and they want you to rush and get your credit card and do that. Well, folks, realize that that's a standard sales pitch that people are using. Okay. A lot of, just about every product, they even have standard buttons you can put on when you build your own web pages. Rather than freaking out and thinking you're going to lose the sale, just get off the page and get back on. The timer resets itself to the beginning. Okay. Salespeople want to sell things. Sales are always there. You miss this one, there's going to be another one coming up in another month. Prime example, Raluca gets hundreds of sales. I don't know how she keeps up with it from all the different perfume companies, Sephora and let's see, even on Amazon and what's I can't even think of all the different places that you have, Macy's, and so many of these
Yeah,
different companies.
all these beauty companies, because I'm part of the beauty
Yeah,
community on YouTube, and yeah, they do send a lot of emails. And initially, they did get me, but see, then I caught on. Hey, wait a minute, I don't have to react to every single thing. But when I was new, see, when you're new, but then you understand what's going on, you can actually resist it if you want. And I'm extremely selective now with which emails I respond to. But yes, you can
some of these
train
companies send you
yourself.
4 emails a day, you know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
Sephora, I'm not picking on you, Sephora, but they'll send you a sale today, and if you don't get the same thing will be on sale in another week, another 2
yeah.
weeks. It's just a
No, actually,
constant. That's
Ulta
how
does
they
something
make their
called
money.
flash sales. Yeah, which are very effective. They're from 2 to 4 p.m. That's it, and there's certain items.
Those stress me out. I gotta do it.
Yeah,
So being aware of it, being
yeah,
aware that there's the game, being aware that peer pressure is one of the strongest ways. Fear, fear
yeah,
that, I have to do it or I'm going to lose it, or creating lack. Realize that there is, people are creating lack or scarcity in their product. We only have this much left until they're sold and they reset the counter and now it's filled again. Like when you go to the grocery store and there's only 2 of one item. Come back tomorrow. The shelf's filled again. You don't have to buy. When there was shortages. Okay, let's pick a product like rice. Rice, let's say, goes for, I don't know, $1 a bag. Okay, and all those sell. Now there's only $2 a bag left, and all those sell. By the time you get to the store, there's only the really expensive $15 a bag, bags, and all the dollar ones. So you buy all the $15 bags and you get home and the next morning it's filled up with the $1 ones again. It's like, why did I do that? The scarcity created the fear, created the anxiety, created the buying moment. You see how hypnotizable that is? You spent all this
yeah.
money.
Fear is
Yeah,
really a very powerful tool, and we've seen it in the past couple of years being used incorrectly. Yeah.
great
Yes.
motivator, create a
Yes.
fear, and don't worry, we'll take care of you. Here's a
Mm.
solution. Here's a solution. Here's a solution. And most big companies will come up with the solution before. Okay,
Yeah.
here's the product that we want to sell. How are we going to sell it? Well, let's create
The
this
problem.
catastrophe
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
this problem, and then people will need it.
It's the oldest trick
We
in the
start.
book, guys. So if you're aware of it, you can mhm,
Yeah.
figure it out. Yeah.
So, folks, we appreciate having you come, and I wanted to let you know that if it wasn't for you folks, we wouldn't be here. So we're going to
We
create
still be.
scarcity right
We
now.
still
No,
be here talking to each other.
it creates lack and scarcity in our
Yeah.
minds. But anyways, these are ways that you're being hypnotized each day, and there's so many more ways. I had started writing a book about it once, and I came up to like 40 different ways you're being hypnotized. So there's quite a few if you really think about it. How are you being manipulated each day into doing things? And be aware of it and don't allow it to happen. Or make the choice. Instead of reacting, act. Okay. Somebody says, you have to do this right now. Instead of doing it, do like Warren Buffett says. Take a deep breath, wait 24 hours, then make your decision. While waiting 24 hours, you're able to clear your mind and start thinking with your forebrain rather than making decisions with the 90% of your past experiences, which is what everyone does. That creating scarcity gets the fight or flight going. And when you're in a state of fight or flight, you can't think originally. So look at what's happening, think about it, take a deep breath, and then make your decision. Okay, you can't stop it from happening because that's how the world works. The world understands how to manipulate people. We're a commodity. Okay, that's where everyone gets their money from other people. Okay, so think of that. You're a commodity. Everyone wants what you have. Your money, your time, your anything that your increase. So you can be the one that decides where it goes to. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And like I always do, I will give Raluca the last word. Oh, but before I do, for those of you, since we're both on the American School of Hypnosis and on Rene and Ralu, I wanted to let everybody know something really exciting. In September, we have our new 6-day live hypnosis certification course. So if you'd like to learn hypnosis to start a business or just to help your friends or family, this is a 6-day class on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. And you can click on the link below. It says option 3. It'll tell you all about it. We do have an early bird special going on right now. It's going to be, like I said, on weekends. If you can't make all the days for 6 days, we do record it so you can catch up. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Raluca and I will be teaching it personally right here on Zoom. Any internet-capable device, computer, laptop, phone you can attend with. So I wanted to let you know about that. Now, the last word by Raluca.
I get the last word. Thank you very much. Seriously, though, thank you so much for being here and for all of your questions, guys. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell to be notified when we come on live on both channels. The people listening to this on the American School of Hypnosis channel, don't forget to go subscribe to Rene and Ralu Show. It's a lot of fun. It's about self-help and mind hacks for your life. And also, don't forget to go listen to us on a podcast. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Cast. With that, we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.